I saw the house, it came on the market, and I was like, oh, I forgot about that house. I kind of knew immediately I was going to buy the house. It was just something totally different, than what I had. And I think that's what I loved about it, and I saw it as a challenge. I'm Jason Arnold, and I'm an interior designer, and this is my home in Nashville, Tennessee. And this is Roe, the king of the castle. Growing up, design has always been a passion of mine. Like the Southern Living house plan book was my Bible, and my mom was a quasi-decorator, if you will. She hung wallpaper. We were always going to yard sales, looking for things, and I just always loved it. It was just in my DNA for sure. So this house was built in 1982, and so I saw the house in 2003, I believe, when a friend of a friend owned it. I love a project, I like to move. I had just finished my other house, basically. And so that's when when you get done with a house, you can't enjoy it. You have to go buy another one. So the state of the house when I bought it, it was still pretty original. It didn't look like when I saw it 10 years ago. The kitchen, obviously was in terrible shape. It was original, terrible layout. The dining room was, not good. The color was terrible. But I knew that I could live in it for a while and kind of feel the house out. So this is the kitchen. This room changed probably the most in the house, the renovation. It was kind of this dark hole. The only light that I had were these two skylights. This window was not here, so I added that. This was a solid wall. There was one singular door that walked in this kitchen. It was like a cave. So I knew that I wanted to open it up to this lounge, but I didn't want it to be totally open, and I wanted some softness. So I added this interior drape. It's great too when I've had parties and I've had caterers in here, they will close this curtain. A couple years ago, I was in Portugal, and I saw this edge in a restaurant, and I just loved it. I love the simplicity of it, but it also kind of has this presence to it. I love the linear, lines of it. Because the kitchen has no upper cabinets, I wanted to do kind of an interesting ledge. Really, the main thing for the ledge was to hide the lighting. There is a lighting strip under it. I call this the room the lounge. This is where I spend most of my time. It was the original dining room in the house. Because that room, the living room, is so large, I wanted a more cozier space off the kitchen where I could just spend time. I wanted a small dining table in here. This is where I eat. Or if I just have a couple people over, we always sit here at this smaller table. As you'll see kind of in parts of the house, you'll see I use repetition a lot, and I love the repetition of all of these Egyptian drawings. They're one of my favorite things in the house. I love them. Scale in a room is obviously having the right proportions, having the right feel. It's like in architecture, classical architecture. I like to play with scale. Sometimes I'll use a smaller lamp next to a larger mirror, so not everything has to be overscaled, and you definitely don't want everything underscaled. So this is the living room, AKA the hotel lobby, as I like to call it. It was definitely a design challenge just because of the double height ceilings. I was just trying to make it cozy. In trying to bring the room down, I did the drapery panels, I set a little bit lower, in the room to kind of bring them more down to a human scale. I took all the lights out of the ceiling except, the hanging fixture. When I envisioned the room, I envisioned that it would be, more two seating groups down here. And as I lived in the house, I realized that we kind of congregated more closely, so I wanted to be a little bit tighter, so I just made it one living space. When I bought the house, it had a very contemporary fireplace surround. I immediately knew that I wanted something a little more traditional around the fireplace, just to kind of add a little tension to the room. And so I had my plaster guy build this for me, and I just love that, you can tell it's hand done. Nothing is perfect. It just has this great character to it. You can also tell I love a chair. Like, it is my love language. I love this chair, obviously a traditional piece, but then I put the Schumacher wool on it just to kind of make it feel a little more contemporary. And of course I love the olive green. And then these chairs, I'm pretty sure they're from the 80s. And then I put this Saxon epinglay on them, and this is one of my favorite Schumacher fabrics ever. It is like a workhorse. You cannot find anything on it. So it's such a good one. I just love the mini geometric print to it. Almost looks like a solid, but it's not. And I always loved hanging, artwork over the bookcases. When you're a collector, you never have enough walls, so you have to start, using every available space, or really anything that'll hold a nail. In the powder room, it just felt kind of cavernous. I wanted to feel a little more, if you want to use the word glamorous, but like a jewel box, I would say. I used the Schumacher glass paneling, which is one of my all-time favorite wallpapers, just because I love the reflective quality, and it just kind of makes that room feel larger. My eye has always been drawn to opposites, contrast, to tension, if you will. So, to see a beautiful antique next to a contemporary, either a piece of art or a contemporary lamp. It's tension, but in my eye, it creates harmony. They kind of highlight each other, and they don't have to match. It doesn't have to make sense. It only has to make sense to you. This is the bar, obviously. It was original to the house, not this bar, but the bar was here. I want it to be very moody, because everybody, loves a moody bar. So that's why I went with this mahogany, color, and I just kind of washed the whole thing, even down to the bar stools. The brass rail is original to the house, so that was here. So I maintained that. It survived the renovation. So this is the primary bedroom. I had this bed made for a show house a couple years ago in the Morrison stripe, and as most designers know, that when you have things made for a show house, if they don't sell, sometimes they might come home with you. So this was kind of the starting point for this room, and then I decided that I'm just going to run with it. So I upholstered all the walls in the same stripe, and I love an upholstered bedroom. The screen was my mom's, and she moved into a new place, and it wouldn't fit in her house, so I was like, I gladly took it off her hands, and I knew exactly where it was going to go, and so it really just kind of brought the whole room together. This is the primary bathroom. It was probably not high on my renovation list when I bought the house, but then while I was renovating, I went to Charleston, and I stayed at the Dewberry, and they had the most gorgeous marble bathrooms there. And I immediately called my contractor, and I was like, okay, let's rip out the floor of the primary bathroom. And so I just came in with this beautiful, large 24 by 24 white marble. And then I love, again, the contrast between, the marble and then the wood walls. I've always wanted, a wood paneled bathroom. The vanities were inspired by a console that I saw in a magazine in Francois Controt's apartment in Paris. And so then for the countertops, I repeated this decorative edge as I did in the kitchen countertops. I hope this home says about me that I'm really curious, and that I love lots of different things from different eras, and that I'm constantly growing and evolving as a designer. It really is, also my laboratory. I am happiest here at night. The house changes. As you can see right now, it's very light and bright, and it looks totally different at night. And so I love, just getting the lighting right, the music. And this is the end of the night situation right here. Yeah, as you can see. The king on his throne.